Hi, I'm Maurice Foley, the founder and CEO of the Black Travel Expo. The Black Travel Expo was created because I felt there was a need in the travel world for people of color, especially for African Americans. African Americans spent $110 billion in 2019. So I got to thinking, say, hey, why is it not we don't have our own platform or place that we can meet to talk amongst each other, to get ideas, to learn different travel information, or find out who traveled where, and find out who's who in the travel industry, and also who the travelpreneurs are, those people that have travel businesses. So I came up with the idea because I felt that there was a need for this type of platform to not only bring those travel consumers together, but also introduce those travel consumers to the tourism offices, such as Tourism of Bahamas or Bermuda, and also these big corporations as well. So I think it was time that, since we're spending that much the dollar in tourism, that it was time that our voices were heard, and that we actually come together to listen to each other and really make some changes in the travel industry. My first cultural travel experience was in 2000, when my family took me to South Africa. We actually went to a small town called Bisho, which is outside of East London, South Africa, not too far from Kunu, which is the actual birthplace of Nelson Mandela, the late Nelson Mandela. That experience certainly opened the world to me. Right after apartheid, just a few years after apartheid ended, we went down there to build a community church and community center for the locals there. And that just opened up an entire cultural and heritage experience for me. And I made it my duty, my responsibility to return there every year since then. And I've done so. And so that experience, and I've actually offered it, the experience for others to travel with me as well to that region in Africa, so that they can understand the history of that particular region. And it was a great experience. Well, the Black Travel Expo was not only created to provide valuable travel information, but to also provide an outlet for people to learn more about the culture and heritage sites, not only here in the US, but globally as well. And to expose the attendees at the Black Travel Expo to locations or places within the US that they were not even aware it even existed, to open that up to them as well would be very pivotal to why the Black Travel Expo was created. More importantly, information and education is at the top of our list, so that we make sure that everyone understands where they live, even in their own cities and towns, but also if they travel internationally, how to tap into those global cultures and heritage sites. I think it's very important to embrace the local cultures wherever we travel, whether it's here in the United States or globally. One thing that I do when I travel, especially to South Africa, to Ghana, to East Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, those places, is that I take out time, at least 1 or 2 days, to really tap into the local culture. That's where you get the authentic experiences. It's great to go on the tours and excursions and all of that, but I find the most appealing and most rewarding times in traveling is actually going to see the local people, the local cultures, and understanding their heritage. And I think when I take tour groups, this is actually becomes the best part of their adventure, is taking them to meet and greet the locals and to eat with them and to dwell with them and to hear from them as well. So I think tapping into that market is very essential. Well, I believe that post-COVID, travelers are more educated now. They're doing their research, they've had time, they're ready to travel. But most importantly, I believe that in their travels, they want a more ground level experience. It's going to be great to go out there and travel and do the touristy things. But I think really because of COVID-19, I think people have maybe changed or altered their way of thinking when they do travel, and really have their destination in mind. Sure, they want to be safe and they want to have fun, but also they really want that real life, authentic experience. So I think that's going to be the game changer here post COVID-19. Well, I believe that access to our cultural heritage assets has been taken for granted because we probably think they're always going to be there, right? But that's really not the case. So we have to do, and our responsibility of making sure that our cultural heritage assets maintain, is that to protect them. And consumers have that responsibility. If we're spending that money going out there and traveling the world, we may need to make sure that those places, those destinations that we go to, not only here in the US, but globally, are protected at all times. And we must make sure that we tap the shoulder of the tourism industry as well to make sure they're in line with what we as consumers want to appreciate and maintain for futures to come.